So first, what orders did the Harris campaign give you going forward in your capacity as mayor to help her get elected? And the second question is about homelessness. So we're almost 3 years into your administration in which you've claimed historic levels of getting homeless people into permanent housing. However, homelessness conditions have only gotten worse with the highest number of street homeless in more than a decade. People have told the Post that they feel unsafe. It's a revolving door, horrid conditions. The shelters are a revolving door, and it causes horrid conditions at key tourist hubs like Penn Station. So doesn't it show that your administration's approach is failing on homelessness, and if not, why?
Yeah, first I'm gonna look over to my council to talk about.
Yeah, just,
It's in your capacity as mayor, though, is the question, so not,
Yeah, I'm still gonna look
so-
over to
yeah,
my
thank you.
council.
let me, maybe I can offer just a helpful clarification that, and of course, you can ask any questions you want. I just want to clarify that when city officials are not asked to perform campaign functions in their official capacities as city employee. So that's the distinction. Individuals who serve in the city administration, of course, have the right to campaign and engage in political activities on their without using city resources for that purpose. So I just want to give you that clarification. And you know, and again, you can ask anything you want, but if it's a specific question about specific political campaigns, there are just limitations that the Conflict of Interest Board have guided us that may impact the degree to which answers can be provided.
Thank you. The question around the homelessness, you said it's at the some of the highest levels. 212,000 people entered the city, in addition to 64,000 already being homeless. I'm not quite sure how people don't see how amazing it is that we've been able to pull this off. 212,000 people that we had to house. And for the slight uptick that we have with 212,000 people, it's really remarkable. We're going to continue to do what we've done, transition more people out of shelters into permanent housing in 1 year in the history of the city. We're going to continue to give smart ideas to transition people to the next step of their journey that includes reticketing. We're going to continue to say that we're not going to allow encampments throughout our city, like other municipalities have done. Our city has not turned into an encampment zone like we see across the country. But to do what DM Williams-Isom has been able to do with her team, with 212,000 people, and we're still getting, what, about 900 a week?
700 last week.
700 last week. We were getting 4,000 a week. Can you imagine how scary that is? 4,000 people a week you had to find a place for. And at one time, we had to do it within a certain number of hours, right? We were being sued because we didn't take 4,000 people and house them and get them in beds by a certain number of hours. You know? Boy, I can't wait till y'all read my.
So I wanna hop in. I wanna hop in just a second.
Hold on,
Can I just hop in? Because you said
let it-
whether or not our homelessness strategies were failing, and so I took that to mean traditional homeless populations, and yeah, street homeless. So I wanted to just remind you that since this administration started, we've connected over 7,600 people to shelter. So we took the infrastructure that was here, whether that was the CBOs that were working in the subways, that were working above ground, all of the co-response teams that were working to bring people into shelter. If you look at other cities and you look at homelessness in other cities, in New York City, 90% of our people who are homeless are sheltered. That is because of our right to shelter and the other things, the infrastructures that we have, the long-term people who have worked for a long time. But you know that it takes a lot of outreach to engage people and to bring them into shelter. to then get them connected to permanent housing. Our numbers have been, in FY23, we've placed nearly 1,000 New Yorkers are placed in subsidized permanent housing because we've been able to increase the amount of people through City for HEPS, which is our program to connect people to vouchers. So there's many different pieces of it. The mayor from day one has been talking about encampments. I don't know what New Yorkers you're talking to, but I know all the New Yorkers that I'm talking to and my neighbors see less encampments since we've been here. And so getting people off the street, doing the engagement to those people who are in those encampments and bringing them inside is something important. Once you get them connected, we have to make sure that they get services. Some people need to get hospitalized, making sure that we've opened the beds that need to happen. So I don't think that we have been unsuccessful. I think post-pandemic, we know that there were a lot more people who have been on the streets. We know that there are a lot more people who need support, and I think we're doing a great job. Last night, I'll just say this, I was with a group of people who are starting a new, it's going to be a new initiative that we're going to start soon. Combination of police department, nurses, and the Department of Homeless Services. It was amazing to see these group of people who are like, okay, what are we going to try now for the most chronic people who are on the streets so that we can bring them in? It's very complex, and so I know that other people around the country come to New York City to see what we're doing, so I don't think it has been a failure. I think we're in the process of doing a great job and going to continue to do a better job.
And I just want